Hey everybody, happy Hump Day. It is Wednesday, February the 28th, 2024. My name is Michael. This is the Skies Limit Aviation channel. Welcome to a Wednesday evening live stream. Short flight today, heading out of Cold Bay, where we arrived into on Sunday, and flying down to Dutch Harbor, better known as Unalaska. And we're continuing our trip over in the Embraer 120 as Alaska Express 65. Same aircraft, same tail number, same flight number as Sunday. About to get the boarding started. And we've got 13 passengers on our flight today, according to Sim Brief.
Crew bus is coming.
Both. And baggage cart heading off to the terminal to grab the bags. Crew bus should be here in just a second. We've already filed our flight plan on the VATSIM network. And Auto ATC has given us our transponder code 3525. Already got that set up in the box and squawking ident. Going to be a short flight, just a little bit over an hour. Taking the CHUNA 2 departure off of runway 33, so it'll be a very short taxi. So we'll back taxi down to 33, turn around, depart straight out. And like Sunday's flight, 16,000 feet will be our altitude. And probably be pushing 211 knots or so, also like we did on Sunday. So once we depart runway 33, it'll be a left turn to 265 degree on a 263 degree heading. And then 243 heading to CHUNA. And we'll do our best to get above 9,000 feet by the time we hit MORDI, which is the last fix of the RNAV departure. And once we get into Cold Bay, it's going to be...
Passengers bus is coming.
Runway 31 for the arrival into Dutch Harbor. Everything's already plugged into the FMS. Just waiting for our passengers, and we will be ready to depart shortly. Hope everybody's had a good week so far. As the passenger bus rolls up on us. All right, passenger boarding is complete. We can go ahead and start our before start checklist. Fasten seatbelt sign is on. External lights as required. We have ground power currently. Flaps up checked. Air conditioning as required. Radio master on. Instruments set and cross-checked. Radios radar transponder set. Fuel totalizer set. Fuel quantity checked. Before start checklist is complete. And here comes the luggage ever so slowly. Go ahead and continue our checklists. So before start checklist part 2, flight recorder is set. Power levels are set at ground idle. Condition levers fuel cutoff. Pressure system is set. Parking brake is on. Flight idle stop is checked. Part 2 of the before start checklist is complete. Boy, he is very slow and not in any hurry to get that baggage over here to the airplane tonight. Okay, let's try that again. Close that. Close that. There we go. All right, gonna start my ACARs. And engine start checklist. Windows doors closed. Door lights off. Rotating beacon is on. Fuel pumps as required. Radio master is on. Engine start checklist is complete. Hey, Frank. Good evening, sir. I didn't think I was going to be on either. But it's just a short flight we're doing today down to Dutch Harbor.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Doing pretty good. The weather's a little bit lousy down here in Atlanta, but we're doing quite well. Started out with a nice warm day, and it turned into very rainy, stormy, windy, and a 20-degree drop in the temperature in literally like 30 minutes.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
All right, starting engine number 1 on the left, then engine number 2. Starting engine 1. Yeah, it's been mostly cloudy all day today here too. I just didn't realize we were going to get a whole bunch of rain, so. All right, after engine start checklist. Fuel checked and set. Electrical check and set. Auto feather is on. Prop sync is on. Hydraulic power checked and set to auto. Ice and rain protection as required. Pitot heat de-ice on. Air conditioning set. Radio master is on. After start checklist is complete.
Reset parking brakes.
Parking brakes are
We need your
set.
confirmation for a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
All right, taxi checklist. Taxi lights on.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Condition levers set. Takeoff data check. Elevator and aileron trim is set. Flaps 15. Flight controls. Free and clear. Cabin briefing is done. for taxi checklist is complete. Cold Bay traffic, Alaska Express 65 back taxiing to runway 33 from the ramp and taxiway Charlie, Cold Bay traffic. Actually, I spawned on a different part of the ramp from where I thought, so... Gonna be a right turn and then a left turn. Parking brake set before takeoff checklist. Cabin advisory has been given. Landing lights on, strobe lights on, air conditioning as required. Transponders on mode C, condition setter levers, max RPM, rudder trim set. And we are ready to take off in case of a engine failure or any other emergency. If we have runway room left, we will slow down to a stop, assess the situation, taxi back to the ramp. If we get past V2, we'll go ahead and go airborne, run checklists, and come back around to return to the airfield. Cold Bay traffic, Alaska Express 65 departing runway 33, departure to the west, Cold Bay traffic. Positive rate gear coming up. Flaps coming up. All right, sounds good, Frank. See you back in a few. All right, after takeoff checklist, gear up, lights out, flaps up, auto feather set to off, air conditioning set, altimeters, we're not going above 16,000, so altimeter will remain the same, pressurization checked, seat belts as required, landing lights will come off above 10,000 feet. After takeoff checklist is complete. Looks like we're dropping some frames on the live stream. Yeah, the upload speed's bouncing around a little bit. Which could probably explain the drop frames. We'll keep an eye on that. So I hope everybody has been having a good week so far. A couple more days, it'll be the weekend. All right, through 10,000 feet, landing lights coming off. Yeah, been a crazy day here in Atlanta. Started out nearly 75 degrees, a little bit overcast. Got home, weren't even home for an hour, and the bottom just fell out. The wind picked up like absolutely crazy. And the temperature literally dropped 20 degrees in a small amount of time. Just absolutely crazy on the weather. And here's our route in Navigraph. Left Cold Bay. left turn just hitting CHUNA on the CHUNA 2 departure. And then we'll arrive in Cold Bay, gonna be runway 31, and then just back taxiing to the ramp once we get into Dutch Harbor. Passing through 15.5 or 16,000 feet. That'll be our cruise altitude for this afternoon. Said the flight should not take but probably a little bit over an hour. And leveling off at 16,000. Next flight will be heading back to Anchorage. And then from Anchorage, let's see what we've got going on here. Delta flight, PAMC. Now we can go back to Seattle or head to Minneapolis. If I had an operating 321 Neo, we could do the Minneapolis flight. But I think we'll just do... We will just, let's see, Delta 741, back to Seattle, and then from Seattle, well, we could do LAX. Let's do an LAX flight. Let's do Seattle to LAX. LAX to Portland. Portland to Minneapolis. And do Minneapolis back to Atlanta to round out the trip. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more flights in the system to get us going. So here's the flight we're running right now. This will be the next flight back to Anchorage, Anchorage to Seattle, Seattle to LAX, LAX to Portland, Portland to Minneapolis, and Minneapolis back home to Atlanta. So those will be our flights for the next few weeks. Yeah, welcome back, Frank. And just kind of pre-planning for the next few weeks worth of flights. Nothing too awfully exciting. Yeah, we're already coming up on the halfway point into Dutch Harbor. Halfway point is Mike Oscar Romeo Delta India waypoint. About 10 nautical miles from there, and that's our halfway point. There we go. All right, Frank, you have a great evening. You take care of yourself like you have been. We'll see you again soon. Frank is going to leave us. So you're just hitting us on the live stream. We are Alaska Express 65 passenger and cargo service from Cold Bay down to Dutch Harbor. Just a short little hop, and then we'll start heading back east. Get back down to the lower 48 and some of the warmer weather. So I guess the stream disconnected. Or maybe not. I guess it didn't. Okay. Interesting. Now it looks like the bad weather may have been screwing around with the connection. That's why we had some drop frames there at the very beginning of the stream. Oh well, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start down. Alright, descent checklist. Window heat, window defog on, air conditioning as required. Landing data. Let's check our landing data. We have flaps full landing. We're not running the weather engine, but I will look at the weather anyways in Dutch Harbor. And current observation, wind 280, 18 knots, gusting to 25, temperature 1 degree Celsius, dew point -4, broken at 3,000, broken at 3,600, visibility 16 kilometers, altimeter is 3031. So airport ATIS and weather information is checked, pressurization checked. Approach briefing. All right, it's going to be a runway 31 landing. There is no published arrival. Once we get to Romeo Oscar Foxtrot Zulu uniform, it'll be a left turn to Victor Oscar Victor Uniform Charlie. Then we'll continue slightly south and westbound. And then it will be a right downwind for runway 31. It'll be a RNAV arrival. Not anticipating any adverse weather conditions. We're not running the weather engine, so we should be fine. So approach briefing is complete. Seatbelt sign is still on. Landing lights are coming on. Descent checklist is complete. And passing through 10,500 feet for 8,500. Airport elevation is 1,400 feet. It's going to be a final bearing of 302 for the runway. And the runway is 4,500 feet. So we're going to be coming in as slow as possible. Yeah, I definitely think the weather probably has wreaked a little bit of havoc on the internet connection, because I remember going downstairs when wifey and I were having dinner and she's watching some streaming stuff, and there was a little bit of glitching out on that. Dutch Harbor traffic, Alaska Express 65 is 20 miles to the north, right downwind for the RNAV runway 31 arrival Dutch Harbor traffic. Forgot my runway there for a second. And here's our approach coming into the airport. Alright, approach checklist. Auto feather on, air conditioning as required, altimeters, instruments, radios are set, pressurization checked, cabin advisory has been given, approach checklist is complete.
2,500. Too low. Gear. 400. Sink rate. $500. Sink rate. Sink rate. 1,000.
Oh, we're way off.
500. 400. 300. 200. $100. Minimum 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Yeah, let's. I think we're gonna. Oh, holy crap! That was not a good landing. Holy shit! God, I hope there wasn't anybody on the ground actually watching this. Okay. That was lousy. Hey! That was the worst landing ever. I just saw your message on Discord about trying to sign up on AirSource. What was? Oh, it was. Trust me, it was lousy. I tanked it into the hill off the runway. I saw your message on Discord about not being able to sign up on AirSource. Did you ever get an email, or what happened with that? That was probably the... Yeah, very, very off center line. Thank goodness it's only a simulator and not the real thing. That was probably my lousiest landing yet. Oh my goodness. So anyways, I saw your message on Discord about not being able to sign up on the AirSource
Passenger's
website.
bus is coming.
What happened with that? Did you get you should have gotten an email or something, I think. Yeah, the ground crew definitely knows some sorcery. Levitating those little stairs over to the entrance. That's weird. I'll have to check. I'll have to ask Tom, who's our administrator, why that didn't happen. Did you check your junk email just in case? Because I've had that happen before. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dutch Harbor, Unalaska Airport. Current local time, I really don't care right now. Good flight, except for the landing. Anyway, shutdown checklist, inverters off. Main generator off. Seatbelt sign is off. Emergency lights off. External lights as required. Electric hydraulic pumps are off. Air conditioning as required. Radio master as required. Power levels ground idle. Condition levers fuel cut off. Parking brake is set. Hello, wifey. Wifey has entered the chat. And I'm already on the ground in Dutch Harbor. But anyways, I'll check with Tom and see if there's a problem with the email, because it usually, I've not ever heard of that happening, so that's kind of odd that you wouldn't get an email. But I'll double check and let you know.
Crew bus is coming.
Well, it's funny, we had 13 passengers and there's probably 5 flight attendants on that, because I can't control how many flight attendants GSX puts on the flight. I didn't watch during the boarding process to see how many flight attendants we have besides the 2 pilots. So we're going to find out here in just a second. So crew bus is here. All right, there's 1 flight attendant. 2. 3. 4. 'Cause we had a flight attendant for every 3 passengers, literally. And the really tall pilots with their heads poking out the roof of the airplane there, deboarding at this time. as the baggage cart almost runs over the conveyor guy. Oh, yeah, that one fell on the ground. Pick that up, man. Oh, it picked itself up. It's that GSX saucery working again. Okay, now we'll watch Doctor Strange levitate those stairs back to their original position. While we close up the cargo door. Oh, I guess the stairs are going to stay there. Oh, well. I don't think the stairs are going anywhere. I think they're staying rent free. I'm gonna have to get an eviction notice when I head back to Anchorage on the next flight. Oh, speaking of, good grief, I should go ahead and file my flight here. So I gotta copy the flight plan back out here. So, all right. Choose a flight to PIREP, and we use the Embraer. Let's go through all these aircraft. There we go, the Embraer 120 Brasilia. Paste, and let's see, VATSIM /UTUB-E. PIREP the flight, 1 hour 6 minutes, looks good. Close that window. PIREP successful. And here's our next set of flights. So live streams coming up. Alaska Express 65 once again. This time we're going to do Cold Bay to Anchorage. Then Delta 741 Anchorage to Seattle. And then after that it'll be Delta 1598 from Seattle to LAX. Delta 2975 LAX to Portland. Delta 559 Portland to Minneapolis, and then back home to Hotlanta on Delta 2023. And that's going to do it for the live stream tonight. So good night, Nebula, Lation, and Frank, who departed us a little while ago. Wifey, I'll be down in a couple of minutes to watch crazy movies with you. And with that, that's going to do it for today's live stream. This is Michael with the Sky's Limit Aviation Channel, wishing you a happy remainder of your hump day. Enjoy the rest of the week. We'll probably see you on Saturday for the next live stream. If you liked the live stream tonight, smash that like button to show your support by subscribing to the channel. And if you think somebody can benefit from learning how not to land like I just did on my arrival into Dutch Harbor, then forward this video to somebody who might benefit from it. So once again, this is Michael with the Sky's Limit Aviation Channel, signing off for the night. We should see you probably on Saturday. Bye-bye now. Take care. See ya.